What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for joining us on this lovely Wednesday and mighty toasty evening slash afternoon. Well, evening now. It's 6 p.m. here, our time, Pacific Standard Time. This is the Mad Boxing Show. I am Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs, joined as always by my co-host Andrew. Don't get it twisted, Lapache. And once more, yes, this is the Mad Boxing Show, or Mad Boxing for short. We appreciate you guys stopping by on this midweek show that we like to throw in the middle of the week. We love these kinds of shows. It's kind of like sometimes there's a whole bunch of news between Sunday and Wednesday, and sometimes there isn't. And boy, is there some tough tonight. We definitely want to be talking about it, no doubt, because it's very interesting, the developments that took place. If you guys recall, our last show on Sunday was right before the UFC 250 Freedom show. And damn, some stuff has happened since then. Some stuff happened on that show that we want to talk about. That's one of the things that we wanted to bring up because on that show that we did before, we said, hey, we got to keep an eye out whether or not so-and-so happens. Well, we're going to be talking about that, of course. There's a lot going on around Zuffa, that UFC card, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, rumors that Las Vegas is in the lead to host Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. What the hell? Didn't we just say last week that this is a terrible idea? There's been a couple of quotes that I was been able to find online that seem as though they're leaning towards Las Vegas. Which is a bad idea in our opinion. But again, we're going to throw in our 2 cents once we start talking about that because, oh boy, I'm not sure if that's even going to be a good idea. But there's plenty of Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury news, including that Anthony Joshua has invited Tyson Fury over. He's like, yo, come to Saudi Arabia, July 25th, be ringside if you're really serious about this fight. As if Tyson Fury isn't already serious. We know he is, of course. But he wanted to throw in one of those, I'm the boss, I'm the guy that runs type of shit, Anthony Joshua. So he says, hey, if you're serious, come down the 25th and be ringside, and we'll get a cracking after his victory. Whether or not Tyson Fury will follow up with that, we certainly assume he will. But again, we're going to throw in our 2 cents about that. What else? Oh yeah, David Benavidez. It looks like we might get a unification bout. His 2 belts that he took off of Zurdo Ramirez back in May. Looks like he might be unifying against Noel Mikhailian, the WBC Cruiserweight champion. It looks like we might get that fight later on in the fall, according to Boxing Scene at least. So we're going to be talking about them. And it seems like it's less likely that David Benavidez will move back to 175, but we'll see how this goes. This is just preliminary talks, of course, supposedly nearing a deal. Some talk about Errol Spence. We saw his performance against Terrence Crawford, and now he recently on an interview on the All the Smoke podcast or show, whatever you want to call it, with Andre Ward, talking about how bad that training camp was and how bullshit it was with all the little sparring that he did and all of the stuff, and how bad that training camp was. It's kind of falls on deaf ears at this point. It's like, yo, the fight happened. At this point, just fucking take the L and call it a day. But he wants to throw in his 2 cents there, even saying, he's excited for the fight. We'll see what happens after this fight coming up with Tim Tszyu, but maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. Okay, well, shit, it certainly seemed like it was. It's been a long time since he's been in the ring, so we'll see what happens after that fight. And of course, our good buddy Floyd Mayweather is back in the news, bouncing a couple of checks, high dollar checks. Yo, holy hell! 2 felonies, it seems, from what I've been reading, and it looks like he's in deeper in shit, I guess, with these bounce checks for jewelry, watches, whatever the hell it was. I'll read the screenshot here momentarily, but it seems like more money, more problems, right? At least that's what P. Diddy says. No Diddy. And on the topic, I briefly mentioned him, Terrence Crawford. Conor McGregor was on the Ariel Helwani show recently and talked about the offer that was sent to Crawford, a 2-fight deal, $200 million, one inside the UFC octagon and one inside the boxing ring. Didn't happen. It looks like it seemed as though, at least, Terrence Crawford wasn't interested in it. We're going to be talking about that and throwing in our 2 cents of what we think might have transpired there. All right. But as always, before we get crack-a-liking with the show, quick word from our channel sponsor, Health Isol. or Health Y Sol. Make sure to check them out online. They are tallow-based product, tallow-based company that sells tallow-based beef tallow-based products like soaps, primarily soaps, of course. Lavender patchouli is my personal favorite. If you want to check them out and you happen to find something you might want to try, make sure to use the code MADBoxing10 at checkout and get 10% off of your purchase, or follow the affiliate link that's going to be in the description of this video and get the same 10% off. It's a relatively inexpensive way to support the channel, and we always appreciate it, of course. And as always, like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff, because we like to hear from you guys. Okay, let's go ahead and get this shit crack-a-lagging. First off, UFC 250, Freedom 250, right? There's plenty to talk about there. One of the things that let me see, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? 3 days since that that card that took place on Sunday, and still no ratings has been released, no viewership, nothing like that. Definitely not the it seems as though, at least, Super Bowl numbers that Dana White was hoping for. A lot of stuff happened that day, though. In addition to the card, because it was a fantastic card, we thought there was going to be some sort of announcement, right? We thought maybe, oh shit, there was going to be some stuff going on with maybe Conor Ben and Ryan Garcia, maybe the announcement of AJ and Fury. Well, I guess a couple of cease and desist letters definitely put a stop to that shit. When Tyson Fury, who was present on that night, when he was asked about this potential announcement, he said, "We'll leave it up to Dana White." Dana White announced it. Well, Dana was asked about it in the post-fight press conference, and he just basically said, "We'll be making an announcement shortly," with that smirk that he has on there. So we basically got dick teased on that one, because nothing ended up happening, no announcements. But yes, Conor Ben was there. Yes, Usyk was there. Yes, Fury was there. Crawford, Opataya, those guys were there. But funny enough, no UFC fighters. Besides the ones I actually fighting. Wow, isn't that very telling? Andrew, let me go ahead and bring you into the show here. Before we talk about Tyson Fury and his dick tease of an announcement, pretty telling that there was a lot of Zuffa boxers there, but no UFC guys, huh? None of those guys got a ticket? Damn.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until Conor McGregor brought that out.
Mm-hmm.
Shocked and not how do you say it? Shocked that they're really doing it this fast, but not surprised that it's happening. I don't want to start off talking shit like boxing is king, and you will all know this. No, I'm just playing, you guys. I'm just playing. But the numbers speak for themselves. Again, it seems like the UFC might not have hit a home run with this event, even though the event was a home run. It just didn't. It might not have had the viewers that they wanted. But if you were able to watch this, it was a very good production. The fights were good, Miguel. I still kind of cringe at their stand up, and I had my nephews over. They're all wrestlers, so I'm like a robot that's fucking just tripping, dude, like tweaking out, bro. Because every once in a while, I wanted to be like, what the fuck are they doing? But my nephews, they scream at every punch, and I get it, bro. Like every punch is a knockout shot. You never know. It's very little, it's more of a fucking rock'em sock'em, right? So, but all ended in knockouts or stoppages, however you want to say that. None went to the decision. It was just a great show. Dingaling messed it up. We called it, or I think everyone is not going out on a limb there, but what's the Josh guy? I don't remember. In fact, we won't even say his last name. Yeah, sure. Josh guy. The Josh dude.
Yeah,
because he might not be around for a while.
Yeah, I heard he might get in some serious shit for what he said. Yeah,
of course, and they might sue him. This is gonna take this to a whole nother level. Which, to be honest with you, I'm gonna get off script real fast. What script? We don't have a script around here. You go off. President former President Obama, it's time for him to back up his wife on the big stage. You know, Miguel, if someone was telling me that my wife was a man, and I literally watched this woman have my babies in a hospital, I'm not letting that go by, right? I think it's time for him to step up and back up his wife. So that's all I want to say on that. Let's put these rumors to the end. And the way is, whoever Michael is, do you know about the whole Michael guy? Michael's Michelle.
Well, I've heard the slip of the tongue, you know, like hearing Obama intentionally, trying to say Michelle, but accidentally say like Mike or something, and maybe he was gonna say my wife or some shit, but then he switched it up to
his best friend is named Michael. That's the story in college, and then he turned into Michelle. It's stupid, but that's the story that they have run with, right? I got to come out. I'm bringing Michael out. Like if they said Christina was you, Miguel, you're gonna be with me on TV, bro. I'm sorry. Like this is fucking Miguel right here. Do face recognition. Go look us up in college. This is Miguel. That's Christina. Screw you guys. Stop this. This is not right. You're hurting his daughters, right? This is not cool. Telling the guy's on that big stage like that and says that. Come on. Even the president, you see, he took off, I guess, whatever. I don't know why he had a necklace on from this dude. Something
he
about a necklace. Okay, so
after Josh won the fight, he had it around his neck, and then he went and actually gave it to the president and put it around his neck.
Yeah, well, he took it off. So that was one good thing. I wish the president would have actually spoke against it. Because at the end, their presidents have to stay close. I know they're Democrats, Republicans. We all hate each other right now, or that's the story that they're telling us.
That's what they want us to do.
The World Cup's telling us different, but that's what they want us to do, right? But in times where the presidents need to come together, they still got to act like they're here for America. So if President Trump doesn't believe that what Josh said was true, he should come out and speak on that. You know what I mean? And stick up for Obama, just like Obama needs. I think it's and look, I've never searched the internet. You guys, you're probably going to be like, oh, there's 1,000 stories out there. I don't think it was on this kind of a big stage at the White House. You disrespected her. It's time to do an interview. I just don't want Michael to be. What if the Obamas are like, yeah, Michael passed away, and be like, damn it, rolls into the other conspiracy.
And say, oh yeah, he passed away on so and so. It's like, Obama, it's not your wedding day. So literally, when one person died, like, shit,
one was born.
Yeah, one was born. Like, I suppose
we play
just hearsay.
So that was foolish to happen that night, but the rest of the show is great. And come on, bro. You know what? I'm gonna have my wife send you my videos live on the air. Oh, I should do it live. I'm gonna text her. Says she recorded me on the Gaethje fight. See how it worked? Huh?
Yeah.
She recorded me, bro, and I'm screaming Rocky. This is Rocky. That was a bad fight, dude. That was a bad fight, man. The guy had a good ground defense, and he freaking had that jab, man. I'm screaming for that jab. I gotta tell you, it's one of the most underrated punches in the MMA world. I don't know why more guys do not establish that jab, especially when you have a fighter that's not trying to shoot. Oh, that makes it easy. Oh, it's easy. You better shoot if the man in front of you has a jab and you don't have head movement, or it's going to be a bad night, as we've seen for that young man. So
it's a very underutilized weapon.
Yeah, yes. And I get it. You can't throw too many or they're going to go right under it, right? I get that side of the MMA, right? But when they're not shooting, oh boy. Oh boy, should be like a snake. You know, you pop that, you get the fuck the thumb in the eye. We're putting that whole little fist. Bah, yeah, every time, man. So I liked it.
For those of you who haven't watched it, just a quick side note, George St. Pierre versus Josh Koscheck, the rematch. Dude, that fucking jab of George St. Pierre was lighting Josh Koscheck up, cracked his orbital bone. Home dude couldn't even fly home because of the elevation would fuck them up even more so. He had to stay in the city that he was at and then drive fucking home. So just so you guys to see how effective a jab can legitimately be in MMA fight.
Yeah. And that's what they think happened to Topuria.
Topuria. Yeah, Topuria. Yeah,
They think
dude, his whole fucking face was cracked. His nose, both sides of his eye, even that like ribs at the very end, right? That knee that Gaethje landed on him towards the end of the fourth round. Yeah, I'm sure that did some damage.
One of the weirdest things, I'm not gonna talk bad. I know they're saying it was a young commission. That was one of the weirdest situations I've ever seen take place in a fight, though, man. The doctor literally call a fight and the ref say, "You're wrong." Crazy. That's crazy work. I give it to you at UFC, man. You guys get away with anything, because that would never happen if it was Bob Arum and De La Hoya, if it was Don King in a Mike Tyson fight. Could you imagine? It's just that's like the ear being bit off and the ref going, Mills Lane going, nah, you know what? It's just an ear. Keep it going.
I mean, he kind of did, because he had to buy him twice. You know what I'm saying?
But the second one, he takes his ear off.
Yeah, the second one, like,
it at the guy.
Off. Yeah, he spits that shit. Yeah, he did. He does. He might as well do that like Mr. Perfect, like spit it out and like swat it out with his own hand, kind of thing. Yeah,
Mike pulled the Silence of the Lambs in real life, man.
Yeah, he sure did. But you know, Mills Lane did kind of let it go the first time, at least.
And I'll never forget Mike's reaction. Like, how did I get in my mouth? What's that? Like, fool, you just bit him. What do you mean, what's that? He pointed at that piece of ear like it was the ear's fault it was on the ground.
And don't forget, he came out for that round without his mouthpiece. The referee saw it. He's like, oh, no, mouthpiece. Like, oh, shit. And then he puts it on. He's like, now looking back, like, oh, this one knew what the fuck he was doing the second he stepped out of that corner.
Right. So, yeah, dude, great show for the UFC. I liked it. I love the walkouts. I love the backdrop. You know, Miguel, which one did you like more, though? Because I still got to say that pyramid one had its own little nice backdrop, too. As an American, I'm going to go at White House. But they were, how lucky were this year to have both of these companies do a fight like that? Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was unique and like once in a lifetime kind of thing.
Yes.
So much so that if you ask Dana White, which was asked about doing it again, he's like, no, we're never doing this again. It's like, just like the Sphere, like we're never doing this again. Like, all right, well, I mean, we did the Sphere, you're never going to do it again. Now you did the White House, like, are you going to have to top this one? Like, is this, and he says, you know, he never looks at stuff like that to try to top it or anything like that. But they look like, you know, he made the effort to top the Sphere card. So who knows what the hell will be next, if anything at all. But yeah, I don't know if they'll top something like this.
Right. So about the boxers being there. For a while, I've been telling you, look, you can say TKO has been moving their dollars over. But I really feel, Miguel, like this was the first time we seen Turkey really separate himself from Dana White and Zuffa. The fact that they made this announcement with Tyson Fury, and Tyson has been able to walk around going, I am not signed by Dana White, and Spence, Dave Spencer, is that his name? His manager?
Spencer Brown.
Excuse me. Spencer Brown has come out and said, as far as he knows, Dana White has nothing to do with this signing. I think the cat's out of the bag, right? Like, whatever they were trying to do with Dana White and his ties to American combat sports, or maybe global. We know they're big in America. One, the UFC fan base didn't buy into it. They're not pouring over into the Zuffa viewership with heavy numbers. And two, like, everyone's reporting that the money is all Turkey. Turkey owns more than half of the Zuffa company. Turkey's the one funding all of these big contracts. So to me, why would well, sorry, not you, Conor Ben, but why would a guy like Tyson Fury and possibly even Shakur need the hand of Dana in their pot when it's not like they're going to sit down in that room, Miguel, and go, look, I'm going to be straight with you. I'm a world champ that's already done a few of these $1 million contracts, right? I'm not one of these guys that you pulled off of some bar that or retired recently and is coming back because you're offering him 50 grand to fight. I don't need Dana White. I need Turki Ali Sheik. Now it's either you're my promoter and because you're the man who's paying me, but I'm not going to be playing this bells and whistles game with you over here with this guy trying to pump up your whatever they're doing over there at Zuffa. If I'm any of the big signings, I think that's how I'm approaching Turki, and I think they did. I think that's what's prolonged all of these announcements. You guys, Dana told us to wait for the announcement, and it was announced without him. Think about it. Tyson Fury and Turki literally put out an announcement on their own about them working together.
Yeah, let me go ahead and read that here real quick. He just Tyson Fury posted it on what appears to be his X account or Twitter, right? He tags Turki in it, saying Turki, the promoter of the GK, which is, the Gypsy King, and he says, "Till I retire." Now, we retire again, I guess, because you've tried a gazillion fucking times already. But this isn't an indication that this is the direction that Tyson is going and maybe other guys going. On top of the fact that Turki wasn't at the fight, either. I mean, it wasn't his own card. I mean, I don't know. It's UFC, right? So obviously he's not going to be there for that specifically. But yeah, this is a pretty glaring indication that this is the direction that Fury's going. Turki and a lot of other fighters as well.
And it's because they're not even stupid is the word, but we're not naive. There's no reason to have Dana's hand in the pot. That's just another check you have to pay out. And unless Turki goes, no, I'm going to pay Dana, but he's the face of my company, so I need him to be behind you. Well, that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother ball game that we don't know about because we're not behind closed doors.
Well, that's what people are saying. Like
exactly.
He's just the front guy. Any control behind the scenes, he's not involved at all.
That's what I was thinking, but all of a sudden we have an announcement without him, with one of the bigger signings too. Tyson Fury was one of the big ones, right? It was him, Shakur, and I think Lopez were linked at the very beginning, that were possibly leaning there. Lopez ended up saying no, and that must have been because Turki said no to him. I wonder if that's the real story.
If Turki said no to Dana?
Yeah, no, Turki probably when Lopez went into the Zuffa office to talk to Turki, they were like, "Oh no, your appointment is with actually Dana White and Zuffa." He's like, "No, I want the big money, Turki. That off." No, Turki has clearly said you're going to Zuffa. He was like, "I'm out of here. I'm out. You don't want to be Berlangud." You know what I mean?
Right.
So maybe that's what happened. There might be a Y in this company, bro. You
might be. I'm starting to think they were never connected to begin with. It was just two parallel lines the whole fucking time. It was never a connection to begin with. It was no fucking Y. It was just two streets completely separate.
It might be. It might. Well, we're gonna see how these next few signings, because look, they have Shakur already in that photo where it's saying that Turki signed him, but we'll have to see how Shakur comes out and announces it. Is he gonna be like, "Hey, I'm promoted now by Turki Ali Sheik," or is he going to be like, "Welcome to Zuffa," have Dana White in the background, stuff like that? So very interesting on that end, and kind of sad for the MMA guys. I told you it was going to happen, though. If you listen when this first started, I told you there was going to be some heartbreak coming down this. I didn't like where TKO is headed, and damn, did they do this fast. And Miguel, not one legend. You couldn't give a seat to one fight. John Jones couldn't be in the building just to like represent the legends of the UFC. Or how about the first guys that bled blood? I don't even know who's alive and who's not, but whoever's alive still, give some of the grandfathers of this sport a shot. Hell, is Gracie's family still alive? The man that I know him, probably not his grandfather. But is his dad still?
No,
his dad
his pops is gone. But like one of the cousins that started the thing, Horion, he's still alive as far as I know. And I mean himself.
Renzo is Renzo.
He is, but he never fought in the UFC, at least not that I can remember. So there was a lot of fighters who were fought elsewhere. There was Hickson, who fought in Japan, never fought in the UFC.
Oh wow.
Hoyler. There's a whole bunch of brothers that fought a lot of different places. Very few of them fought in the UFC.
But
It's just
Renzo was supposed to be better than Hoist.
no Hickson. I mean, they all start with the letter R, but it's pronounced with an H, right? But it's Hickson. That guy, supposedly, he was the one that was supposed to be in the first UFC. But if you look at him, the dude back then, at least, he was fucking ripped, right? So it's like, no. We want to show the art part of it. We don't want to show a guy who's actually like in great shape. We want a guy who looks scrawny as fuck, who can control these other guys. And they decided to go with Hoist. But it was supposed to be Hickson Gracie. That dude was supposed to be the dude who was the man.
Huh. All right.
Yeah.
So you would think they would have been there. You know, it would have been nice for the Dave, and especially TKO hella dropped the ball. I believe all the stories that they say about these two men, but especially because they had so many boxers there, you think they'd be like, hey, can we, at least make it equal? You know, if we were going to have 4 fighters, let's bring 4 MMA guys and, we'll sit them in a row. And that was just weird. That it happened so fast, because I did tell you guys this was going to happen. I also I'm a little nervous that the viewerships. Look, me and Miguel Googled the shit when it was Tuesday morning, I think it Google's not saying good numbers at all. It's not that I didn't want to believe him. I was waiting for him to be confirmed from Paramount. You guys were on Wednesday night. Paramount's still fucking not saying anything about the impressions that the fight did on their apps or on the internet. Nothing about viewerships, not a ballpark. It's I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't believe, because what me and Miguel seen was 5.9. Do you have those numbers?
That was last I remember. 5 million. We can say closer to 6, because it's
Closer
like up
to
there.
6, yeah.
But that's all that, as far as I've seen. Now, if you go to like the UFC's Instagram accounts, a lot of those views, a lot of those highlights got a fuck ton of views, right? Which is great. But if you're gonna be Dana White and talk about, we're talking about Super Bowl type numbers, we're anticipating you letting us know what those numbers are. Now, even if you don't meet them, all right, it's gonna have to be brought up. Like, if this isn't something, because the UFC is really good with not releasing their shit unless it's a success, right? The fact that there isn't any sort of numbers leads us to believe that it isn't the number that they hoped it would be. I'm hearing all over the place that, like, hey, if everybody is really anticipating these Super Bowl numbers, you're probably going to be really disappointed. And, sure enough, it looks like that, at least. But I would hope that Dana White learns from this and it's like, all right, I'm going to stop talking about fucking viewership here, because you're not going to release the numbers anyway unless it's a big ass success. Which, if you don't, now we get the idea that it wasn't a success there.
You don't think Paramount would release them even if the UFC was against it?
I don't think they well, shit, they did on the first event, back in January. Damn, I don't know. I mean, it's tough to say. I mean, they're the ones that they paid the fucking money. They paid the $7 billion, right? So yeah. I would have to assume that they have the power, to be like, no, we're gonna overstep you if it's great numbers, or even if they suck, however many mil under normal circumstances. That's a pretty solid number, really. But with the importance and the significance of this kind of event, and Dana White himself saying there's going to have these humongous numbers, when you don't meet them, it makes it look bad, especially when you're quiet about it.
For a comparison, you guys, the Super Bowl did 125 million views. Right now, Google is saying the UFC 250 did maybe 6 million. So there weren't even, it wasn't close. And it was very low. And Miguel, it's very low because of what Rousey and Karina, is that her name? Carano just did. It's insane. The UFC has lost, they've lost some of their fan base because of the Josh, whatever the fuck his name is, and I like the guy as a fighter, but Sean Strickland's of the world, right? You lost a lot of your fan base because of Dana White's connection with the president, Joe Rogan's views on life, connections politically. Like the list goes on and on why these guys maybe have lost a good portion of their fan base that was once following them. I didn't see Erica Kirk there, so that was BS.
Yeah.
I didn't see the Israel prime minister there. That was
Right.
BS. You know, but those stories might have turned people away. Like, ugh, right? The Kid Rock connection. You know, that guy's hated on the left side, right? So, I mean, it's things like that, right? And it really reflected on this. If these numbers hold, they did great live. I know Paramount don't give a shit about that, but that one park that was doing the free viewing or whatever, that they said 200,000, I believe. Did you see that number?
I did see that number. Yeah. I mean, I looked at the way they had the aerial view. I don't know if that many people can fucking fit there. I mean, it's a big fucking spot, but I don't know if that look. I've never really seen 200,000 people at any one given time, you know. But if you gauge it off of like we'll say the Chavez and Haugen fight and see what it looked like, right? That's 100,000 people. Like, was it double that? Really? Like, I don't know if that's what it looks like.
Yeah, true.
It's kind of hard to calculate.
That makes sense.
This thing about
did you see what the World Cup did for the Mexico opener?
Oh, I think you sent it to me. It was I forgot which specific one because there's a couple of them.
1.4 billion views.
Well,
that's with the B, bro.
Let's keep one thing in perspective here, right? We're talking like
the globe.
Well, no, we're talking like Fox, which everybody has, right? Not everybody has Paramount, and this is kind of the issue with Dana White saying this. I just Googled it, right? It says Paramount Plus finished 2025 with 79 million global subscribers, right? While the company does not, I was looking for the viewership numbers, but basically, right? We'll look at that 79 million. How in the fuck did Dana White even think like, oh, we're gonna do Super Bowl numbers? This is what? How in the world? You know what I'm saying? Like I've been reading all these fake numbers and shit like that. There's no way. If it was maybe we'll say on Netflix or regular Fox or some bullshit like that literally everybody on the friggin' planet has, then maybe I'd say all right. I might say possibly, but considering how limited they are. To those numbers, to even achieving those numbers, they shot themselves in the foot by even saying that, or at least Dana did.
I know. You know, they're on Instagram. They only have 2.2 million followers, and Netflix has 40-something million. I didn't know the two companies were so far apart, even on the social media feed. You know, when you think of Paramount, you would think they'd have a way bigger fan base. You know, they're been one of the biggest movie companies for a long time.
Yeah. But many things happened that night. One of the things that didn't happen was the official announcement of one Fury and Joshua, or Ryan and Conor, right? So clearly these cease and desist letters did their job. But a little bit of a dick tease, right? Fury was asked about that, and he said, no, I'm just going to let Dana White make the announcement. Well, when Dana White was asked about it, he said, we'll make an announcement soon. Well, there's a lot of talk going on about what this potential announcement might be, and we kind of figured it's going to be AJ and Fury. Now, in regards to AJ and Fury, as of right now, it looks as though Las Vegas is in the lead for potentially hosting this monumental fight. Taking a look at what Spencer Brown said, and a quote from being interviewed by Gareth A. Davis. He says, "We all want it to be at Wembley, but the trouble is, does it pour down with rain? Is it freezing cold? It might be better putting it in America because it's going to be very expensive at the time of the year as well in November." Fury's 6 biggest fights have really been outside of the UK. Most of the fights have been in America, and he has a massive fan base over there. It'll be a bit of a travesty for the English fans, but it will sell out. It will still make the numbers, and it will continue, and it will be watched throughout the world, is what he said. So, at least according to this dude, and this is a guy who I think promoted the Makhmedov fight. if I'm pronouncing the name right, Tyson Fury's last fight, the one with Conor Ben and Regis Prograis as the co-main event. This guy was in charge of that card, and he's saying it. All right, well, it seems kind of. Let me see if I can find another one. I actually found another one here that regarding Las Vegas as well. Where was it here? Yeah, well, I guess I'll find it here momentarily. Oh, yeah, here it is. Here it is. Cool. So it says, this is from Boxing News Online, their Instagram account. Las Vegas has emerged as a front runner to host the Tyson Fury Anthony Joshua card, reports by Chris McKenna of the Athletic. That's an online publisher. So anyway, according to this here, Joshua's contract states that the fight must take place in the UK. So if there is some sort of way around it, some sort of renegotiation, we might end up getting the fight here in the US. We talked about it on the last show. You specifically said it, Andrew. What a slap in the face to English fans. If you look at some of the comments on these Instagram posts, there's a bunch of English guys saying, y'all stupid if you think I'm going to stay up until 1 a.m. to fucking watch this fucking fight. Like, look at how bad they're already slapping the fans in the face, right? Huge mistake by having this fight here in the U.S., I'd say.
Yes. I got two arguments, though.
Okay. What arguments for it?
Arguments for it to be in the U.S. and then what they might be doing. I'll start with what they might be doing. They most likely are gouging the shit out of every investor in the UK to keep that fight over there, right? Whoever's trying to make $1 off of this thing, if this fight stays over there, they're trying to get every percentage out of them possible. Then they'll keep it there. They also, in boxing, sports, whatever, they like doing the bait and switch on us a lot, right? Where they say something controversial, we'll go, oh my gosh, this is happening, blah, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden it's not happening. I tricked you. We are having it in the UK, but thanks for that one night writing it 1,000,000 times out there. That's what I'm also wondering about this warm-up fight that Tyson has. Watch they switch it up on us because, like, look, the contract states that he can't be a part of the AJ Fury fight. Eddie Hearn's against Dana White being a part of the fight. Who's going to do this warm-up fight that Tyson's having? And I wonder if Frank Warren sold the rights to that one. Because, I mean, it is just a warm-up fight. Right? It's going to be in Riyadh. Tickets have never really sold great out there. I wonder if they're going to do the bait and switch on us too. Like, yeah, we're going to let Warren do the AJ one. Like next week they'll announce it, but we're going to do his fight with what's the young man's name? Khabib.
The one who he's fighting next.
Yeah.
I forget his name, but let me see if I can pull it up here real quick.
All right. Well, that guy.
Yeah, that
starts with a K, I think. I just.
No, oh, go. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't?
No, I don't think so. I'll find it here shortly because it's. I want to say it starts with an M. Oh, here we go. His first name. You're right. Christian Prenga.
Oh, well, that's not what I was thinking, but okay.
That's the dude who Anthony Joshua's fighting as a tune-up on the 25th.
Oh, no. I'm talking Tyson Fury's tune-up. No, not AJ.
Oh.
Tyson Fury. Khabib.
No.
Cabiel. Yeah.
That's not a fucking tune-up.
I'm thinking that's who Turkey and Dana are going to promote for Tyson Fury. I don't think they do the AJ fight. I think they're just using that so everyone look. They got hot with it, right? It went viral. So now when they announced the fight with Cabiel, we will all know about. We'll know about it, right? This is what they do to us all the time. I'm just wondering about the bait and switch. Now, why it might happen in America all of a sudden? Point to the World Cup, dude. Point to the World Cup. The World Cup has proven that people are not scared to travel. Nobody's scared of being sick. Ticket prices are about $1,000 everywhere you look, and the stadiums are not totally packed, but they got people in them. So it could be that they're getting greedy And they're like, yeah, why don't we go over to Vegas and see how much Vegas will give us guaranteed money to try to get this fight over here. And we'll make a fucking shit ton of money on the TV rights. Even though you brought up a good point about people already saying, screw that. In their minds, they're thinking they're going to double end the deal on making the pay-per-view money from the UK on this thing, while making what do you think Vegas will offer these guys? 100 million? You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be up there, because if they truly believe it's a Ricky Hatton like moment where everybody, 27 planes are gonna land in one day from the UK, maybe they put guaranteed money up there to really double end this deal for Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn.
Yeah, that's true. Because if you think about it, from what I'm seeing here, as far as fans, they're not planning to travel. At least these fans, these ones, the ones that I was seeing. So for the ones that do travel, I mean, they're coming into the arena, they're paying the tickets. Who gives a fuck about viewership? You know, if they sell out that damn arena, boom. That's, you know, it's the merch. It's all the shit, right? It's basically people coming into the arena and paying the ticket to actually attend the fight, not so much viewership. I was reading some stuff here in regards to that, which is kind of funny. You talked about the bait and switch, because this one particular Facebook account says Tyson Fury's team has shot down rumors that he signed with Zuffa Boxing, right? After Fury teased the big announcement alongside Dana White at the UFC card, many fans believe that Gypsy King had officially joined Zuffa Boxing. But Fury's manager, Spencer Brown, has now denied the rumors, saying there's no contract being signed. Frank Warren is still his promoter. It says, and now appears the entire situation, which is simply speculation after Fury's appearance with Dana White and Turki Al-Sheikh over the weekend. So the question is, were fans reading too much into it, or was Fury intentionally stirring the pot?
Stirring the pot. Most likely, or we're gonna see. Like I said, you guys, I'm leaning towards Fury wants Turkey's money, but he doesn't want the clown show with it. So that whole business that we're taking over boxing with this pretty little Zuffa belt. Tyson's like, you got like one fight with me, then I'm retiring.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
again.
Yeah. I don't need to be a part of the circus act. You wanna work with me, make serious money? Let's do this. I think Turkey said yes, I do, because that's the only way Turkey's gonna make serious money, dude. The TKO. Not TKO, excuse me. The Zuffa boxing series is not catching fire. You don't see anything about ratings. You know, it's the opponents are not star-studded. That Berlanga's getting, that Richardson.
Yes, Richardson Hitchens. You got it.
Yeah, Richardson. All right. what they didn't come out with the banger. Ben didn't come out with one. We're still up in the air on it. Well, now we're not up in the air. Him and Garcia is not even a fight right now. They're at 0% that fight's made. Damn, I would really like to talk to Ben to see how he feels about it now. Right? He talked all that smack and be like, Ben, we heard that you guys haven't even got a hold of Oscar De La Hoya. Did you know this? Just to see what he says. You know what I mean? Like, how the hell could you ever come out and say there was a fight and you guys aren't even talking to the man's promoter? Bunch of hot air. What a bunch of hot air. At least Eddie Hearn.
Oh, what?
At least Eddie Hearn had him in the fight of the year candidate. What, 2 fights in a row? Packed out 80,000. Like it won one of them. Oh man.
It seems as though it's like this big game of telephone where it's like, oh yeah, he signed. By the time it gets back to him, it's like, oh, he signed, cool. Hey, what, you know, like no, what? And then what's his name? Oscar over here is like, what? It has yet to even reach me. What the fuck are you talking about? It seems as though there's a lot of people in between these two guys, and it's something is being lost in translation here. Maybe Conor is being led to believe that it is signed because he signed his side of the deal. So the fight's gonna happen. It just hasn't been signed on their end of the deal.
Hey, that's fucking awesome. That is, even when I'm not picking on him, but even when Dana looks to the side and goes, "Do we announce that? Who are you talking to, bro? You were supposed to be the guy that Turkey's calling. Was he calling your secretary? Is he calling you know, the guy, the fucking cab guy? Like, who is he looking at when he says, have we announced that? Yeah, you're right. It's the telephone game, no doubt.
Yeah. And I can't help but think that, you know, there's some misinformation being fed to Conor, and he's running with it. Really, essentially, is what's going on. Is he's running with it. We said that Anthony Joshua was going to have a warm-up fight, right, against this guy, Christian Prenga, on the 25th of July. Well, he extended to some degree a bit of an olive branch, and he says, well, Tyson, how about you come down to Saudi Arabia if you're serious? So let me go ahead and read this quote of his by Anthony Joshua through Matchroom Boxing. Come to Saudi, July 25th. I'll welcome you in the ring if you're serious. Now I know the fight. Now I know the fight's signed. He's more than welcome to step in the ring. So now that the fight is quote unquote signed, he's more than welcoming to Tyson Fury, and will probably play more of the role of like, all right, let's do this now that the fight is signed, which was not the case in Tyson's last fight, where he wasn't even. Did he even go into the ring? He didn't go to the ring at all, right? He just basically stayed there and kind of looked like a bitch, kind of. And now he's saying, all right, cool. Now that the fight's signed, let's go ahead and invite you to the venue, and then by all means, get into the ring. We can do a face-off at that point. Of course, he's going to have to get past Christian Prenga, which he should. But I mean, stranger things have happened. But I don't like the, we'll welcome you into the ring if you're serious. Tyson's been serious from day one, fool. You're the one that didn't want to get into the fucking ring, last time. So I seems like a little bit of a jab there at Tyson. But anyway, all right, Andrew, should he take this invitation? Fuck yeah.
Yes, he should. And also, didn't Joshua just basically admit that the fight's? He just said the fight's signed. Now that the fight's signed is his quote.
Yep.
Okay,
he said, now I know the fight's signed. He's more than welcome to step into the ring.
So then they already have the venue. Nobody signs a fight with no venue.
Really? You don't think they have like at least an idea, like not a specific city, but like, we got this fight ready, it's signed, but TBD with the announcement of the.
Then that means Eddie Hearn stepped away from his. We have to fight in the UK. You see?
Okay,
that's in the contract.
Yeah, it is. Because hold on, where did it say? I'm gonna find this quote, but basically one of the things that I read, though, the gazillion things, said that if the fight is to take place in the US, that there needs to be some sort of renegotiation of that contract of Anthony Joshua's.
I don't think Eddie Hearn comes off of it. We'll see, but I think Eddie Hearn wants to stay at in the UK for Joshua on this one. Look, do you think it's home field advantage for Joshua?
Well, I mean, considering the Gypsy King is a gypsy, right? Doesn't have a home. Yeah, I'd say so. I think
and kind of plays that role, right? Wearing the American hat. Then he put a Trump hat to come to the prime minister. But he's always what else does he love? He loves another country too that he always talks about. But yeah, very much he's a traveler.
Yeah.
He really takes that to the heart. So I don't know if I don't know if that's why Tyson doesn't give a damn about it being in the UK or Las Vegas.
Damn. Well, I mean, how many times, I can't remember right offhand how many times Joshua has fought in the US besides the loss to Ruiz. I don't know if he's fought any other times in the US, like, period.
He went back to Madison Square, didn't he? I could have swore didn't he go back to Madison Square because he wanted to get a win there or something like that? Maybe they haven't done it yet. I thought they went back to Madison Square, but maybe they haven't. Dude,
because I mean, we know Fury has done it multiple times, right? I mean, I've gone to, and not just Vegas, but Staples Center. I'm looking at some of his recent fights. Oh, his fight with Jake Paul was in Miami. I guess that counts for something. Yeah, all London, Saudi Arabia. The loss to Madison Square Garden. I mean, and to Andrew Ruiz in the Garden. That's it. I don't see him. Those are the only two times he's fought in the U.S. It's Andy Ruiz and Jake Paul. Those are the only times the motherfucker fought in the U.S. Yikes.
Wow. Yeah, so it is home field advantage for him. I don't know if Eddie's going to come off of that. This is a huge fight for AJ, right? You
Yeah.
don't want any hiccups in his training because he had to come here and get used to the weather and do all that. I don't know, man. I think they're staying home, and I believe because Anthony Joshua said because of fight signed, then they already have their venue. They're dicking around with us. Look at, I mean, Tyson's dicking around with us yesterday. If all that's true, right? So
Yeah.
he knows how to promote. I mean, he has us talking it. Obviously, we do a podcast every week, but he had everyone talking about it. You know what I'm saying? They're even on the regular news. I don't know if you've seen that, but Tyson Fury was on the regular news over here because of his connections to the UFC 250. Alexander Usyk made the news with meeting the president also. Terrence Crawford didn't.
Didn't make the news. he certainly was right next to him, right? But
they had who's the rapper they thought he was?
Oh, Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, they had Kendrick Lamar's name. Poor Crawford. But also Crawford could probably dress up just a tad. Just to take. Can we not wear a T-shirt to the White House?
And the braids, the little,
I know. I don't know. That's their hair.
Oh, I know. But I mean,
I'm not gonna knock his hairstyle, but a T-shirt.
You can always clean it up. I mean, I'm just saying, like you can. It'll grow back. It'll grow back. You can just shave the shit off, look nice and spiffy, and then it'll grow back. I'm just saying.
Or get them tightened because they didn't look. It looked like they were been there for a few days. I don't know, Terrence. Yeah, Terrence can pick up.
He looked like fucking buckwheat there next to ringside from the fucking little rascals, crying out loud. You know what I'm saying? Come on, it's the White House, homie. Get with it. You think these reasonings that this Spencer Brown dude is saying, like as far as it being freezing cold and possibly in the rain for something like that, for some sort of fight in an open air stadium like that, you think those are legitimate? Like, I mean, I know the weather always sucks over there, well, for the most part at least, but in November, do you think those are legitimate concerns, or is it something else?
No, I think those are phony excuses they came up with to try to get more money out of people. I just don't, dude, man, Miguel, it would be very sad if they tried to do the Las Vegas things and it doesn't work. The fans just don't come. Now, granted, I know I just said the World Cup showed that everyone's used to traveling.
Yeah, but soccer is a humongous fucking sport. I mean, compared to boxing, it is fucking humongous.
Right. Right. And you're talking about you would need one. Am I echoing?
No, you're good right now. Yeah.
Okay. You would need, 40,000 people from the UK to come up, and that's only half of the stadium.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and maybe weather is to some degree the reason, because people are traveling right now, but it's the summer, right? So it's like it's still at least warm and hot weather. It's not fucking cold, rainy, thunderclouds type shit. I mean, from where they're from. So taking off from there, I don't know. I don't know if that'll have any sort of impact. To maybe like one of the other reasons why people wouldn't travel there, at least to watch the fight, is the weather. But it looks like, and here's the thing, I guess no, because if they do it in Allegiant Stadium, that's covered, so I guess that shouldn't be a problem. If they do it here in Vegas, that would have to be it, right? It will have to be Allegiant Stadium. Like, they ain't gonna do no T-Mobile, which I think holds about 20,000 capacity for a wrestling or boxing event. If they come here. And I think that was the talk for a little bit for one of the Fury and Wilder fights. I think they were saying that it might have been here at Allegiant Stadium. But if we get this fight and we see here Vegas, Allegiant is the place to go, right? That's Raider Stadium.
Of course. No, of course. You got to shoot for the big one, right? This is the biggest fight they had. Hey, babe. Can you send me the videos from Sunday so I can send them to Miguel live on the air, please? Okay. All right. So, yeah, dude, I really think they have to go Allegiant with this one. This in the UK, that's where they would be shooting for. So why would you make it any smaller anywhere else? and it's just a matter of if the people will come. I don't even know how they can start. I guess the casinos, maybe if Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn got a hold of the casinos, I don't know how good they are in with these guys, but if they can get them to already start making phone calls to all the UK players to see who's interested in flying here just for gambling in the fight, right? Old school kind of things, right? But dude, I mean, Miguel, how many of the, I guess for the rich you will, but I hear that Vegas isn't giving freaking free stuff away. What is it called? The perks?
Complimentary
Comps. There you
yeah.
go. That they're just not, and I know it for a fact with Caesars. I go to Caesars a lot, obviously in Reno. They're not giving really anything anymore. So that's something Eddie Hearn and Warren is going to have to figure out with Las Vegas to see what they're actually offering, who are they flying in, right? You start with that one. Then you move down the road, because I believe it's just a list of people. They just start calling. I had a few people in my life that used to be on those. They get phone calls for free tickets. And they would give you a whole package too. If you lost enough money,
right,
you'll get a room, you'll get dinner tickets, fight tickets, like
show tickets.
That's what they used to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, obviously, when COVID hit, they all lost their ass in the recession, or what is it called, the shutdown, and they sold their land. That's the biggest thing that happened, was the casinos. The story is they sold their land. So they have to pay rent now. One of the casinos is, what was it? Paulie C said something like 700 million. One of these guys are paying, dude.
Oh, shit.
In rent, bro. Dude, one company only made like 150 million last year profit.
Damn.
That's why they don't think anyone wants to buy, like the MGM. If they were going to go up, there might be in so much debt. They might not have offers now. They like blew it. Very much a bubble out there. So Eddie Hearn and them have to get to the bottom of that. Let's close this up with that one. Eddie Hearn and them, if they're really serious about moving this to Vegas, they need to see how many people are willing to come out here before I would ever put in. Because obviously we all heard the stories. There's not that many comp tickets to give out. Usually on a hot fight, the casino will be like, man, we fucking sold out of our comp tickets in the first hour that you guys told them that we were going to be here. Yeah, we have 5,000 people say they'll come if you make this fight in Vegas. That's when they know it's hot. You know what I mean?
All right. Anything else we want to add to that one before we move on to the next story? I think that pretty much covers everything that I had written down, at least.
America's cool again.
What?
The World Cup is making us cool again, dude.
Oh, gotcha.
Hey, if you guys haven't checked out the reels, your Instagram, get your reels, your algorithm to start sending you all the ones where the guys are like, I love this country. There's so many of them, because you know what happened? What they're giving it to is that not all the games are in New York, LA, San Francisco, where all the weirdos are. We got games in like Alabama, Texas. I think Carolina has one of the games. I don't know if it's South or North, but they got games everywhere, bro. And they're seeing the middle of America. They're seeing the true, not the true Americans, but a little deeper down to earth kind of people, right?
Yeah.
It's just a great thing going on right now. Then look at Mexico, what they're doing with Korea. I guess they had a great time, obviously, out there. You've seen all the videos on that one. But I like my feed right now, man. I like the turnout that we had. Bro, there was stories of like fucking guys not knowing where they're going, and people are giving them rides and shit to the game. Yeah, just cool hospitality kind of stuff, dude. Just being cool. So, yeah, America got a real good look coming out of this World Cup. Let's keep this rolling. And we won our first game, and then Gaethje comes out and wins in the White House. Come on, that was a bad week, bro. It was a good week for us.
It was a solid weekend. To throw in our good buddy Sam Navajero, USA's next game is against Australia. Oh shit! On the 19th, it's going to be this Friday, and that one's going to be at in Seattle. So Seattle, Washington. All right,
nice.
All right.
You know, one thing I didn't get, Miguel.
What?
I'm gonna go back to it just real fast. I don't like how they were booing Americans in the White House, dude. There was one
Oh yeah,
fight.
I did
Yeah,
notice
you
that. Yeah.
seen that, bro? I was
Mm.
like, what? Wait a minute. And even my nephews, they were kind of going for Topuria.
Yeah, Topuria. Well, that dude was
Topuria.
he was the man. 17 and 0
I
undefeated.
know.
Oh, he was a heavy favorite. That's one
But
reason.
at our house with an American, and is Gaethje a wrestler? Because he had the cauliflower ears.
That was his strong point. Yeah.
I should at least told him that. I can't believe you guys are going against an American wrestler. Yeah. But that was cool. Very good fight.
Very entertaining fight.
Yes.
All right. So this next one is kind of more so a check-in, more so than a real update. I mean, more like an update than a real story, as I meant to say. Our good buddy, Money or Moneyless, Floyd Mayweather, is facing felony charges for passing bad checks. Floyd Mayweather is facing, this is per ESPN, is facing 2 felony charges alleging theft and intent to defraud by passing a bad check to purchase a $200,000 watch in Las Vegas, according to court's records. All right, a little bit more details here. Court papers filed in the Clark County District, that's here in the Southern Nevada. Attorney's office indicate Mayweather is charged with felony drawing or passing a check to intend defraud, with intent to defraud and theft, value $100,000 or more. So our boy is back. You know, I don't know how much longer he can keep up this facade that there's still a whole bunch of money involved. And to some degree, he's in a little bit of denial, because if you look at his social media post recently, he goes on to say, this is Floyd himself, good press, bad press, fact or fiction, pick your poison. Every headline keeps my name in circulation in everything in motion. I appreciate it all. Keep the process coming, or keep the press coming. Sorry, keep the press coming. So he goes on in this specific here. He just says something about lies and negative news always travel faster than the truth. And he goes on to say more stuff. But anyway, I mean, how much longer can we go with this? And you said this a long time ago, Andrew. If some of this stuff that he's saying was fake, and what these things that are saying about him are lies, you don't think by now he would have fucking like hammered down like, yo, I'm suing the shit out of you for lying about my finances or dragging my name through the dirt, XYZ. He hasn't said any of that shit. Essentially just saying, seeing these kinds of posts, it's him saying like, no, it's not true. It's not true. That's pretty much what it is, right? But holy hell, 2 felony charges. That's pretty serious. Bouncing checks. That's a lot of fucking money for a $200,000 watch.
That's a lot of money, man. That's where they're gonna hit him with. You know, that if they hit him with the theft, that 200 grand, you ain't walking away from that. Look, a check. And when was this thing written? When was this? Is it 2024 that they're saying he wrote this?
Yeah.
2024. For him to even have a checkbook. Now, I'm not rich. I don't know if that's what rich people still do, because they, you know, they don't want to like give them an ATM number or something. I don't know. But I love the gift that you sent me, bro, where the little boy is giving that side eye. Total, like if I'm the jeweler, come on, Miguel. A check. I've been like, Floyd, we can't call the bank. You can't call your fucking guy to just wire me the money. Like,
right. You can't swipe your Amex. I'm sure you got some credit on that one, don't you, fool? Like, to swipe the card, that's kind of, I thought that was an indication that you're rich. You know, when American Express gives you that black card, and you're just like, oh shit, swipe that motherfucker, yo. But it's like, pulls out a check and he's like, anybody got a pen? Like, who has pens nowadays? We have to go like,
hey,
here you go.
You know, when he started writing that, he goes, hey, Floyd, can you look at that camera real fast and just smile for me? Real good. Hold on. You got it? Okay. All right, go ahead. Write that fucking phony check, bro. I know you're ripping me off, but you're Floyd Mayweather. I'm going to sue your ass. So go ahead and write it.
Right.
You're done? Take the watch. You fucking asshole.
And you know it was written by Floyd, because 2 was spelled T-O-O. No, I'm just kidding. It's just like 200.
You can't say stuff like.
He's like, how do you spell 200,000? you got to write it out in the check. And it's like, what do we do here? You put the cents right here, Floyd. Okay, gotcha. And then your signature right here. Yeah, who the fuck does that? Who signs? I mean, who does checks now? Really, it's like, yo, can I just sell you the fucking thing? Yeah, sell it to me, no problem, dude. Like, no, we'll do a check.
No, you hit it on the head though. It's that black card, bro. Floyd used to flaunt the thing. You're right. Why didn't the jeweler go, hey, what happened to like those cards that you used to pull out on the 24/7?
Yeah, that one that doesn't have any markings, just all black, right? That one is just. Why don't you just swipe that one? Like I have the machine right here, Floyd. You can just swipe it right now. No, I left it in my other bag.
Do you think his hand was shaking as he wrote this phony ass check? What's the date? Okay.
He's like signing his name like an autograph. Money. Like, no. It's not money. You have to put your real name on it. Floyd Mayweather, Floyd Joy Mayweather Jr. You have to put all that. You can't put your fucking nickname on there. It's like, what is Floyd? What does TBE mean? No. We need your real name on this shit. We don't need that TBE bullshit on the check. So you can anticipate that there's going to be some people waiting for his next fight.
Hey, what's that movie with Will Ferrell when he brings in the big check to the basketball game?
Oh, yeah. Oh, semi-pro? Is that what it is?
Yes. Yes, that was what Floyd walked in the store with. He's like, they won't cash it, Floyd. I don't know why.
I would expect that the people that he owes money to will be present for his June 27th, 2 weeks from now, fight in Athens. His next bout against Greek kickboxing legend Iron Mike Zambides will take place on the 27th. So we're 2 weeks away. This is supposed to be a tune-up, of course, for his rematch with Manny Pacquiao later this summer or later this year. So we'll see. And we've heard stuff about, his passport possibly being held, right, without him because of this issues like this, not this specifically, but of course stuff with the IRS. Man, it's like before this money hits his pocket, it's going to have to hit a lot of other people's pockets.
Where's that fight taking place at?
In Athens, Greece.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to block that. He might not get there. If this court thing is legit, that's a flight risk, right? And you said 2 felonies are attached to this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a judge that can take away his passport. That definitely could happen to him, especially because he already ran once and stood in the country for an overextended period of time, and no one really knows what he was doing out there. Some thought he was avoiding a charge when he did that, rumors, but Floyd said he doesn't mind rumors, so let's go ahead and drag his name through the mud.
Exactly. Good or bad or bad press, right?
Because I like to tell Floyd, there's some other successful athletes like Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Shaquille O'Neal, and Magic Johnson, right? All about as successful as Floyd Mayweather, if not above him. But Floyd was up there. $1 billion, I think he kept bragging about. Do any of them ever tied to flat fucking broke, writing bad checks in jewelry stores kind of stories? Michael Jordan's a damn gambler. They still ain't talking about the man's broke. Tiger Woods has drinking problems, women problems. He has every other problem but money problems. So it's just weird that Floyd has all of these stories about being flat broke, owing the government, owing the jewelers, multiple jewelers, owing the car guy, the dealership. I believe he bought a few cars he hasn't paid for, walked out with. Why you, Floyd? Why are they picking on you? You're just a retired old grandpa. You know how you know you're a grandpa? Because you pulled out a checkbook in 2024. Oh, could you imagine the girls that were with him? Oh, they were laughing. They're like, that's not even their dad's move, bro. I'm a dad. I don't have a fucking checkbook, dog. I had one when I first opened
I
up
got one, but I never use it. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm trying to balance a checkbook.
They just send them to you then, right? They just send you checks for free.
They just send them to me. Especially when you first open a bank account, they'll just give you a fuck ton of them. It's like, all right, cool. My pop still does that. My dad sends money to veterans and stuff like that, right? Like some sort of animal shelters, stuff like that. My dad sends it, but he's like, oh, we need to order more checks. Like, Dad, you can do it other ways. Like, no, just give me checks. All right, fine, we'll do checks.
Well, hey, that's the age bracket that's supposed to be writing checks, though. You know what I'm saying? And so Floyd totally showed his age there. I could only imagine the young ladies that he had with him when they started laughing at his old ass.
And I remember who was it? Jerry Springer, who like paid a hooker with a check, right? Did that
Damn.
did that go through? Did it at least clear, or did that bounce to us? I mean, if that was the case, if it did go through, damn. At least his check still fucking cleared, right? But I did hear about that. Oh boy. But we'll see. 2 weeks from now, he still got that fight scheduled, right? So who the hell knows what will go down, because it can be blocked. It can be blocked, right? And it's supposed to be on the zone. Yeah.
On this court case, did they charge him with 2 felonies? What is it? Let's read this verbiage again on this thing.
Oh yes, so it says, this is according to the Las Vegas Review Journal. Boxer Floyd Mayweather has been charged with writing a bad check worth $200,000 for a luxury watch at Las Vegas business, according to ESPN. Papers filed in Clark County District Attorney's office indicates Mayweather is charged with a felony dropping or passing a check with intent to defraud, the theft of value $100,000 or more. So he's been charged with it. But yeah, the charges have been, pressed, or whatever the word is.
Ooh, I want to over under on if he gets to go. I think I'm betting on no, dude. If there was an over, Miguel, I think there's a judge out there that's gonna say nah.
But what if, I mean, look, this is the way he can make money. So if they see a possibility of him making money, wouldn't they kind of cut him some slack? Maybe they'll have a, I don't know, U.S. Marshal or something, some fucking Harrison Ford or somebody, Tommy Lee Jones, follow him over there and be like, all right, we're going to keep a close eye on you, make sure no shit happens, because there's guaranteed income.
That's up to the judge. That's up to the judge. But the reputation that Floyd has in the court system, in the public eye, probably in Vegas, all not good. There might be a judge that's been wanting to stick it to this dude. Remember, this is a guy that bragged about hitting girls in the back of the head so they wouldn't show bruises, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talk about kicking a man when he's down. Isn't this the best way to kick a man when he's down? I'm going to bet on the no. He's not going in 2 months. I think if this thing grows from today.
2 months, 2 weeks.
Oh, it's in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's the 27th. Right. Maybe literally a few weeks from now.
Floyd, I would get on a plane right now. With the last $2,000 you have left, let's go ahead and jump on a plane. Commercial, not private. You'll just be more in the hole. And get the fuck out of here so that judge doesn't go ahead and put a fucking warrant out for you and take away your passport. Because if he has no passport, he can't go through the airport. He could have a passport. They'll just say you're on the no-fly.
Yeah, no, they'll detain him. They're like, all right, yeah, let's get in that office here. Hey, maybe he was on this alleged flight with Gervonta off to somewhere else. Maybe there's where he went, international. Maybe he went to Athens, Greece. I wouldn't even know it. He's over there waiting for Floyd to show up. Maybe they're on the same plane. Who the hell knows? But they can definitely make sure that he doesn't make it out there. Then he's really fucked. Then he has to wait for that Manny rematch.
Yeah, I would try to get on a plane fast because that's a lot of money, dude, and that's 2 felonies. I don't know if they wouldn't let a regular person go. If it was me or you, we're not going to Athens. Sorry.
Right, but he's not a regular person. He's a celebrity, right? He's who he is. So he's gonna get to some degree special treatment. Not maybe so much from the judge, but some sort of special treatment.
And they know that the fight's in September. Vegas knows that. Oh, there can be politics. I'm telling you, if the mob was still around, they would block him. They'd be like, you're not losing our money. Block his ass, Your Honor, and just be like, yep, I'll block him. Don't worry. Oh, that's a mob. That's a mob movie right there.
Yeah, it is. He'll be fighting the same night, I believe, that Xander Zayas and Boots Ennis will be fighting the 27th, I think it is.
I won't be watching Floyd.
Well, it'll be in Athens, Greece, so maybe it'll be early in the day over here, probably fucking or late evening. I don't know what the time difference will be. Thank you, educational system. But point is, it'll most likely not be at the same hour per se. It'll be just the same day.
I didn't like his last, I think, 2 exhibition fights. The one he does in Mexico with Gotti, right? And then he does it one in Miami. Oh, are they both the same guy? They might be both the same guy.
Well, yeah, because I think he fought him twice.
Yeah, he looks old. He looked overweight. The whole thing with the ref where he kicks the ref out of the ring. The shit was just, it was
another one. Jeez.
Yeah, it was just real phony. Everything about it looked phony, but Floyd did. his workout videos have not looked good. Like, look, I'm leaning that Manny's gonna put some hands on Floyd in this next fight, because Floyd's being forced to come back. He doesn't have it for the sport. This guy's 50 something years old and is a grandpa. He's already training his grandson. Like, now he needs to wake up and go back, run these miles and do these sparring and all that. I don't think so. Manny has a love for boxing right now that Floyd just does not have. Floyd's being forced to do this. Did you see his mitt work, where the young man that's doing the mitts with them is basically faster than him?
Yeah. I haven't seen that one. No.
He's literally touching Floyd. Like, Floyd's not even freaking coming 2 inches away from his body, dude. The kid's literally like tapping him. You know what I'm saying? Is like, I think the fighter is supposed to punch your mitts, not your punching.
You hold them, he punches, not just like, because I mean, that's kind of always been the joke on him, right? Is that he just kind of does this, right? And everybody, and the guys are like, da, 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 right? They're the ones with the pads that are actually hitting his gloves, and all he does is turn the fucking fist. That's kind of been a joke for a hot minute, but it's even more evident now.
Yeah, because he looked quicker back in the day, you know? Now he looks very slow, and it looked like the young man doing the mitts for him was faster than he was. Didn't like it. Well, 2 weeks from now, we'll see how he looks in this exhibition. I'm hoping for a little bit more in shape Floyd than what he's been giving us, that 150-something weight division. I guess he's not going to be one. Are they fighting at 147, him and Manny?
Oh shit, I don't know. I mean, I think that fight is so far away that I'm not sure that's even been mentioned. It might have snuck in on one of the articles, but I don't know. Let me see if I can pull it up here real quick. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good question to see where they're making Manny. Is that how he's going to get Manny the advantage over him? Is making him fight at 154?
Let me see. This is what AI says. Floyd Mayweather rematch, negotiate professional boxing schedule, while Netflix originally announced September. Yeah, it's just talking about how it was supposed to be an exhibition, but now it's legit. As far as I can tell here, nothing is mentioning weight class in particular. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we can presume it'll be at welterweight, right? But I don't know if these guys can. We know. Well, I guess Manny can make 147. I don't think that should be a problem. And considering how much of a gym rat, or at least was, Floyd was, I don't see why it should be a problem for him to not make it. But maybe, I don't know, maybe he prefers to go up to 154 or something and have a fight take place there. I mean, it's a once in a blue moon kind of thing, right? So I mean, I'm sure they can figure out some sort of weight. It might not even be welter, it might be some sort of catch weight or something.
If I'm Manny, I won't move too far off of that 47, though. Manny needs to understand he is the A side in this fight, dude. He could walk away and Floyd's going to be fucking shitting himself. Begging, Manny, please do not walk away. What do I have to do to get you to give me this fight? Don't know if there's another fight that would save Floyd right now. Like this Pacquiao one can. So yeah, dude, if I'm Manny, I'm not moving off of 47 and maybe give him a pound, something like that. But I'm not. I'm staying away from 150. Manny's not a 150 pounder.
No, and are you? Well, I guess what kind of leverage does Floyd have to even say like, yo, I want it up here? I mean, he's the one that's kind of with his back against the wall, right? I mean, he kind of can't really call the shots.
As long as Manny doesn't get pushed over, right? Doesn't try to help a friend or who he thinks is a friend. I don't think Mayweather was ever a friend, but who knows? As long as Manny stays hard in those negotiations, doesn't move off the 47, he should be fine. And I would make Floyd freaking. Hopefully Floyd gets hurt in training. If I'm Manny, that's what I'm thinking. Hopefully he pulls it back. He throws out a fucking arm. He's not going to give up the fight. And now I might knock him out. You know what I mean?
And Manny doesn't tell him about this magical water that he goes into and he can heal his shoulder. The way
gets real revenge for the Filipino people, bro. Knockout of Floyd. Come on now.
Yeah. A very real possibility. If
fucking holiday.
Oh, Yeah, it will. It'll be he'll get. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure Manny already has a street named after him. He'll have a whole ass holiday. It'll be like those fucking like angels on the candles, and it'll be like
Where's he from?
one.
General Santos?
Yeah, General City, Santos City,
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah,
oh, General Pacquiao after.
yeah. Manny Pac-Man. It's like, oh yeah, this is the Saint Pac-Man right here. All right. Anything else we want to add to that before we move on to the next one?
No, we said it was going to be an update.
Yeah, right. I'm sure we spent enough time with that already. Here's another update, a possible fight announcement. Well, more so like finalizing. It has been reported by one Lance Pugmire of Boxing Scene that David Benavidez and Noel Mikhaelian, if I can pronounce that right, are closing in on a deal for a cruiserweight unification fight for the fall. So we're talking last quarter of the year. If you guys recall, of course, David Benavidez defeated Gilberto Ramirez to take 2 of his cruiserweight championships. I think WBO, WBA, I believe they were, and so he's a cruiserweight champ right now. There was talk about him potentially moving back down to 175. He himself said he's very much willing to do it and possibly fight Bivol, but again, just sort of like before, which is one of the primary reasons he even moved up to cruiserweight. He's not going to wait around for him. Who the hell knows? And Bivol, had a great fight recently at the end of May, and a great victory, and got in some rounds, got some of that ring rust off. For some reason, there was no translator in the ring, so when he was conducting his post-fight interview in the ring, I couldn't understand what the hell he was saying. Who the hell knows if he even called out Benavidez or even brought up his name, or if he was even asked about it, because I didn't understand what the hell they were saying. So, but whatever language they're speaking, I think I would have heard someone say David or Benavidez. That part I would have picked up on. I don't remember hearing that. So it seems as though Benavidez is kind of on that same train, not waiting for better Bivol, rather not to decide whether they're going to have their trilogy or not, but he's saying, fuck it, I'm just going to go out and unify the belts with Noel Mikhaelian, who is the WBC Cruiserweight champ. Seems like another PBC type of card, but maybe even a pay-per-view. Hopefully not, because, nobody knows who, I would say nobody, but, Noel Mikhaelian isn't exactly a household name by any stretch. So pay-per-view, most likely, because that's what PBC does. But all right, Andrew, are we kind of disappointed that this is the direction that that Benavidez is going? We want to see him fight the guys at 175, right? And he even said, hey, I can do it. Just give me enough time. But if he's got another fight at cruiserweight, means he's going to be staying at cruiserweight longer, which means he'll need even more time to get down to 175 again. Are we kind of disappointed that this is the route that he's taking?
No, Miguel, because unfortunately, David Benavidez doesn't move the needle. I don't know what route he's going to take. He's really just in hopes that Turkey's going to throw him a bone. Zuffa might throw him a bone and give him Opatai. Maybe that's a semi-big fight for him. He's got a lot of bad luck in his career on getting these big matchups, Once again, he was linked to about to have a big fight here. And now I get it. It's a unification. The guy's a champ, but no one was mentioning Noel Mikhaelian or whatever the fuck.
Well, Mikhaelian is my best bet.
Mikhaelian. There you go. That's way better. Mikhaelian. Nobody was mentioning him. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I'm so into this. This is going to be a good one. Hopefully it is. They're both champs. I'll watch. But it's, David doesn't have a leg to stand on in this one. I kind of like threw in the towel with the Ramirez fight, man. The people didn't buy into you.
Yeah, that's a very good point, because if people were gonna buy into him, that would have been the fight for them to buy into him, exactly. And the fact that the pay-per-view buys were as low as they were, cutting off or curtaining off some of the arena, to cut off some of those nosebleed sections, poor turnout, I guess I should say, on that one. So if there was a time for the fans to buy into David, it would have been that, especially on that Cinco de Mayo date.
And this is numerous times, because he also had a good fight with Caleb Plant. Mm-hmm. Those were kind of big names. Doesn't do anything on the pay-per-view radar. And he had the fight with Tank on the undercard. Doesn't do anything on the radar. So to me, David's just he's all risk, no reward. And that's a bad thing to be, right? Gonna stay the dark horse.
Right. That dark horse will never come into the light. He's gonna stay in the dark the whole fucking time because ain't nobody gonna shine a light in his direction. Unfortunately, that just seems like the direction he's gonna stay.
I guess Canelo wasn't wrong for not picking that one.
Right.
All risk, dude, no reward.
Right. Which I mean, we kind of knew, right? I mean, that kind of, and he said it himself. You know, like what does this guy bring? You know, just 30 extra pounds and fucking risk. All right. Well, no. Who the fuck's gonna, you know? I think people would tune into that. I mean, that's kind of the fight that a lot of people have been clamoring for. So I figured they'd tune in for that at least. But without Canelo, yeah, there's no interest there.
What did the 60,000 pay-per-view buys? I think we added it up to like 8 million or so.
Yeah.
Turkey's all, yeah, I had to pay Canelo 150 for Crawford. Sorry, buddy. You didn't hit the mark.
Right.
Didn't hit the mark, man.
And missed it badly. Like it was airball hardcore, that one at least. But it looks like we might get this fight in the fall. Hopefully it's not one of those damn pay-per-views that you have to pay for. It just, I don't know, maybe Amazon Prime decides to do this one because, you know, it is PBC after all. And I don't know, maybe just concede to the fact that David isn't that mega star that they're hoping he is, and they can put the fight on regular Amazon Prime. I doubt they will. I know, knowing PBC the way they are, they're going to go down that pay-per-view model for this motherfucker. But yeah, looks like we might get this fight in the fall. All right. Anything else to add that one before we move on, Andrew?
No, sir.
All right. So this next one, let me see if I can make sure to pull it up. Okay. This one kind of, man, stirred the pot with me a little bit, at least. Errol Spence was recently interviewed, I should say, not interviewed himself, but he was on the All the Smoke podcast with Andre Ward, talking about his fight with Tim Tszyu coming up, of course, but they also delved into his last fight 3 years ago against Terrence Crawford, where he got fucking smoked. Talk about All the Smoke. He got smoked like a motherfucker, right? And he goes into detail as far as like what went wrong. It almost, if you watch the clips that you can find online, Andre Ward was almost shocked. He's like, "What? Like, tell me you're fucking kidding me. You did this really? Like, this is the biggest fight of both of you guys' career, and you didn't fucking spar for shit, you know? Like, it went several weeks without sparring, saying how much crap." Let me go ahead and read some of these. This quote here. This is a specific post that I found on, I believe it was Boxing Scene on their Facebook account. Errol Spence Jr. has revealed that a quote-unquote messed up training camp played a major role in his defeat to Terrence Crawford in their 2023 showdown, claiming former coach Derrick James failed to provide the right sparring partners. Speaking to All the Smoke Boxing, the former welterweight champion said the preparation was all out of whack and left him feeling weak and depleted heading into the fight. And he goes on to say, nope, there were no conversations with Derrick James about the approach to the fight, right? The camp was bullshit. I did no sparring. The guys didn't fit. I had no southpaws in there to spar with. It was all out of whack. He goes on to say, I was basically living wrong. Even out of camp, you've got to live right. So when you're in camp, everything is good. Derrick James, he's a teacher, right? Well, we're just working the mitts. You would think he would put some gloves on me or put on some gloves and give me some sort of blocking shot, some shots to block, but it was none of that. I was just feeling weak, depleted. Even if I worked out, I feel like I wasn't getting stronger the whole camp. It was just a messed up situation. If you see Andre Ward's reaction to this, he can't even believe it himself. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is the biggest fighting career, and this is the approach. This is also what Derrick James did. It sounds like sour grapes, of course, because no fighter or no fan or media member or anybody reading this stuff wants to hear an excuse. He got his ass handed to him. Andrew, you predicted it from fucking day one. One of the reasons why basically the majority of the welterweights at PBC stayed away from Crawford, and ultimately Crawford delivered when he got the opportunity against both Porter and Spence. But it really, was this training camp that bad? This is the biggest fight of his career, and this is the approach they had?
Yeah, you know, Spence kind of is walking himself in a corner on this one. You know, it's sad that he threw Derrick James under the bus the way that he did. Um, to talk about, look, do you remember when they were saying that that he got injured before that fight? There was rumors that he had a rib injury or some point at some point.
I don't remember. No.
This kind of solidifies those rumors that were going on during that. That's why they said he had a bad performance. All that shit came out after, right? It's always after. Well, then really what he confirmed in this interview is that he fixed the fight with Terrence Crawford. He went in injured. He went in unprepared. Look, he didn't train because his rib was injured, not because Derrick James didn't have training partners. Come on, this is absurd that we're going to put it on that. But he can't come out and go, man, dog, I knew I was going to lose that shit, man. I hadn't done any sparring for 7 weeks because my rib was broken or fractured or, you know what I'm saying, whatever it was, a torn muscle, whatever it was. Can't say that. But now we're just a bunch of guys fixing fights. Right? So you throw your boss, your trainer under the bus, and maybe Derrick agreed to it because he knew damn well Spence was going in there a wounded duck. We thought it was the eye. It could have been the eye and the fact that he had hurt himself at some point in training and just didn't pull out of the fight. It's the biggest money he was going to make. So that's going to bring up whoever's still following the sport like that could ask that question. Was it the injury that everyone was thinking you had during training? Or was it Derrick James just one of the worst trainers all of a sudden that could, you know, he made you undefeated your whole career. And all of a sudden he's like, no training. Fuck that. Sparring partners. Why?
Like, hold on. This is the biggest fight of your career and the biggest payday. No, that's fine. Just go run some laps.
Yeah.
That'll be fine.
Fight this right-hander.
Right. Have the dummy hold the bag. You know, hold the pads for you. You just hit the numbers.
I don't buy it, but I know Spence needed an excuse to come back. He needed to say something. It can't be the truth, though, because the truth probably is what everyone thought it was, and that was that he was going in there injured. If not with one eye also.
Well, you mentioned something about him. You said you didn't like the way he was talking. You mentioned that this was something before, but recently, before we started, you were like something about the way he was talking. Did he sound off to you?
Yes. I know he talks about drinking. Did you see that part of the Andre Ward show where he threw in there, oh yeah, I'm not drinking anymore?
Oh, well, I know, but this was, I mean, I don't remember. I remember him saying that, but I mean, did he say when? That part I don't remember.
I thought it was for the Crawford fight.
Oh, okay.
I think he was putting that in there when he was talking about living outside of the ring and inside the ring and all that. So, and on the interview, he sounds slow as shit. Like, dude, Spence has always sounded punch drunk. He sounded punch drunk on the thing with Andre Ward. I don't know. I still think he beat Zoo. I still think he beat Zoo.
I was just about to ask you that. Really? Like, even still?
Yeah.
I mean, the way we're talking about, and I'm of the opinion that he's never been the same since the accident. That fucked him up for good. So he'll never be the same. That's what I'm thinking. And then whether or not that, I mean, I'm sure that played a role in his fight with Terrence Crawford. Whether or not it was the only reason is another conversation. But I'm sure that played a role. And I just don't see him ever being the same since then. So even now, years later, yeah, maybe he has some time to recover. But I mean, this much time outside of the ring, I don't know. I'm not sure if he beats even this Spence. I'm not sure if he beats.
It should be a simple 1-2-3 that wins the fight for Spence because he knows how to throw it so good. Zoo does not move his head. So Zoo needs to learn how to move his head. I'm telling you, Miguel, just doing this shit is not going to do it with Spence. And he does that a lot. He comes in with that right hand. I'm probably exaggerating a little, but he comes in heavy on the right hand. Head doesn't fucking move. Straight up fighter. I think Spence knows how to throw the combination. You might not, that's Jedi shit at this point because you're just hitting in the middle. That's what I lean to a lot when I know you're gonna hate me, but that's what I lean to a lot when I talk about boxers transitioning into the cage. Is you guys don't understand how many punches are landed with their eyes looking down, their eyes looking at their chest, but they're hitting the head, right? They're baiting their guy to think it's a body shot. Look at how Tank knocked out Ryan. Look at how Juan Manuel Marquez knocked out Pacquiao. Look at how Floyd knocked out Hatton, or dropped him in the corner. The check left hook. He's not even looking at him, right? They know where to punch. They've been doing it their whole life, right? The trainer throws a hook, he goes under, he throws a right hand while he's going under, right? Shit like that. It's done over and over. It's like riding a bike.
Yeah,
for these guys.
Watch Manny versus Marquez too. At the very end, like the 11th round or 12th round, it was one of those. He just basically said whoop and threw that fucking overhand left. I think it was left, and cracked him, and it buckled Marquez. Won him that round, I should say. But yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, man. So I think Spence hits him with one of those. It comes natural.
It's kind of funny that you mentioned that, it's looking away. Maybe he's not looking away, but he's got that lazy eye, and it just kind of goes. So maybe
he said, watch any Tevin Farmer punch. No, I'm just kidding.
Right, exactly. Like, yeah, just follow his eyes. You'll be able to. He'll tell you exactly where he's throwing the punch to the fucking canvas. Yeah, don't do that, Tim. Please don't do that. But Spence even went as far as to say, "Hey, I might be done. This might be it." There was a comment here that I want to read because it kind of clarifies what he meant to say. And Boxing Scene kind of deliberately did a little bit of clickbait here by just putting that part. But to read this comment here, it says, this is how headlines trick you. He said he was talking on the fight, on the fight-by-fight basis. He could fight 3 more times, or this could be his last fight, but he feels good and excited about this. But even still, the fact that that's even being brought up, you know what I'm saying? Like the fact that he's saying, I might fight 3 more times, or this may be it. Well, there's an or there, right? And the fact that that is even in the conversation is an indication that he's looking in that direction. And I can't imagine him fighting that many more times. I don't think he'll fight 3 more times. I mean, if he takes this long to fight in between fights, I'm not sure when the hell his next one will be. We have heard that the 154-pound Charlo, again, I always get him fucked up, so my bad, but that Charlo is interested in fighting the winner. He's going to be on the undercard even. An opponent has yet to be named, but he's going to be on the undercard, right? So at least Spence has his next 2 fights planned out if he wants to go in that direction. I hope he doesn't fight this fight with Tim and maybe he wins and says, okay, I'm done. And now, we don't get Spence and Charlo. But doesn't that look bad, Andrew? Like, yeah, granted, he's not saying for sure, but it's already in the conversation.
The fight with him and Charlo?
No, him being done. Him being done. Saying
he said this might be on the.
Yeah, well, but he said it kind of like off the. He said he could be 3 more fights, or this could be his last fight. He kind of did one of those things.
What did I tell you this tournament was, bro? The tournament of the has-beens, man. This is one and done, dude. You loser goes home, winner moves on until they fight for the belt, and then when they lose that, then they go home too. This is all that's left. In my opinion, that's what Al Heyman is put. That's what he's built here. I think Zoo is done. If he loses, you'll never see him fighting in America again. Mark my words. Al Heyman will burn Zoo's number, and that's it for Zoo. If freaking Charlo loses, he's going home, right? Like this. That's what I see here. This is for one last run. If Zoo was able to get on a winning streak, it's not a last run for him. That guy's in it for good. But for Charlo and Spence, yes. And if Zoo loses, he'll be fighting Zarafa in Australia. But he will not be in America.
Yeah, right. And mind you, this fight is going to be in Australia anyway, right? So he's not leaving Australia, in other words.
There you go. Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else we want to add to that one before we call it? Before we move on to the next one.
Nope.
All right. Here's a conversation. This topic is one that Andrew got very, very heated about. He wanted to make sure that we include it because although it It's more, MMA, UFC-ish. It involves boxing and it involves a boxer. Recently, Conor McGregor was on Ariel Helwani's show, and he was talking about a myriad of topics. Of course, primarily his return to the ring, to the cage, to the octagon, which will be at UFC 329 on the 11th of July, T-Mobile Arena, against Max Holloway in a rematch. And one of the topics that came up was one of the things that Andrew has been dying to see. We see mixed martial artists make the move to boxing for a bigger payday, some with minor success, mostly getting fucked up, but we don't really see the boxer jump into the cage. The money isn't there. More often than not, they just don't want to fucking take an eyeball to the fucking skull. An elbow to the skull and get paid, $100,000. So, but according to Conor, he's saying that there was, and this isn't necessarily new news. I remember him saying this some time ago. Anyway, the offer itself, $200 million for a 2-fight deal, one in a boxing ring and one in an octagon. And he says Crawford didn't take it. What the hell? Yo, this could be one of the biggest fucking fights in combat sport history. The biggest one. Maybe even pay-per-view, for crying out loud. Why not? But apparently Crawford didn't take it. Andrew, when you brought the topic up and you wanted to add it to the myriad of topics we had, you said, what the fuck? $200 million? That's a joke. That's a fucking slap. That's lowballing them. Kind of makes sense why Terrence said fuck this. But Conor called him out hard. Says, yo, you even wrestle, fool? What the fuck? You know damn well that helps you in the cage. That looks bad on Terrence Crawford. And this was Conor's response, kind of, sort of, because if you remember, after Topuria lost to Gaethje, Terrence went on social media and was like, and this motherfucker wanted to fight me in a boxing ring. This is the son of a bitch who thought it was going to beat me, yada, yada. And he said, boxing is king, pretty much, combat sports. Threw that out there. And then Conor McGregor gets pissed off at that and says, no, get the fuck out of here with that. We offered you $100 million, motherfucker, and you said no. Andrew, by all means, please, not only throw us your 2 cents, but sound off on what you got to say about this.
I got to agree with McGregor on this one. I did not like. Now, look, I'm going to get into the money side after I get into what started this. I thought it was real classless of Crawford to go after. How do you say his name?
Topuria.
Let me go ahead and write that down because I'm gonna fucking have to say that again.
His first name is Ilya, if that makes
Torpedo and what else? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, trapezoids. Let's go ahead and add a few more syllables.
McGregor was totally right when he said, "Dude, this is MMA. This is not boxing, right?" You see the size of those gloves, Terrence. You see how they're rolling on the ground. Dude got fucking body shot to the ground, had to take some ass licking on the ground too. Then even Gaethje got a knee to the ground. Like, this is a whole nother sport, man. Don't come out talking like you're hella hard when you know deep down Conor McGregor gave you a phone call where he fucking challenged you straight up and you said no. You look like you're an internet bully right there. That's all that look like. You're just trying to get some clout off of Topuria's name. So I don't like it. And I don't like that Crawford hasn't responded. Did you even hear McGregor goes, maybe your son will be a man?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
oh, boy.
Dude.
Yeah,
Man.
If that doesn't piss you off, like, I don't know what the fuck does. Because when I said it's like, and he kind of did it off the cuff. He was just like, maybe his fucking son will step up, like, oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. Well, he knows his son's a wrestler, right? His boys win. Crawford needs to respond. And I would respond with basically a bigger demand in money. Miguel, I've been telling you guys for a long time that this fight, if they ever did it, and it's always been in Dana White's court, it has never been in boxing's court. The ring has
never really,
never,
Okay.
because the money was never there, bro.
Well, that's the point though. Like, this is what kind of gets me about the boxing side is the money not being there. And I understand it. Because obviously you're gonna go in there and get kicked and get whatever the fuck, right? So you want to get paid for that shit. But it always comes across like they're hiding behind the paycheck, saying like, "Oh, I'll go in there, whoop your fucking ass." Okay, go ahead and do it. Well, they won't pay me enough. Oh, okay. So it's not about going in there and whooping ass, but it's about the payday, which I get it again. But it's like if it's really gonna be like that, go ahead, do it for fucking. You go whoop his ass, right? Because you can totally do it. Then go and do it.
I think for a long time the industry knows that Dana White was gouging the fuck out of people, right? Where maybe we didn't, or we were naive to it, but Top Rank knew what was going on. Klitschko's promoter knew what was going on, right? They know what the money is when you're packing up arenas, when you're selling 1 million pay-per-view buys, when the merchandise is fucking toys, lunch boxes, t-shirts, right? They know Dana was racking it in and not telling his guys. So you would fight for no less. If I make 25 million in boxing, I'm making 25 million in the cage. I'm not proving a point here to get CTE. That's stupid, right? So no, I don't blame any boxer. Mike Tyson said he would do it for 10 million. That's not even a lot of money. I don't give a shit if it was 2000, 1999. That's not a lot of money back then either. He only wanted, Mike was hurting for money when he told Dana that price, man. Klitschko and them said, pay me 25 million, I'll get in. They didn't ask for 100. They didn't ask for nothing big. This is the same amount of money that these men were making in the ring. Okay. Oh, sorry, I took too long. Sorry. These are the same type of money that they were making in the ring. So that's what I mean by the ball's always been in Dana's court. It wasn't like what I expect Terrence Crawford to ask for now, because you're a $7 billion company, because we hear all the we're kind of programmed into thinking that the UFC runs all of the MMA, and if you want any type of money, it's through them. I am telling you guys right now, I believe one night, if they were to do a fight like Conor fucking McGregor, especially if he wins his comeback fight, and match him up with a man like Terrence Crawford, Saul Alvarez, someone of those standards. You have these two fighters getting in the cage. Miguel, I almost promise you that's $1 billion night. That is $1 billion night that Las Vegas would see. You guys have to remember the UFC just bragged about selling $1 million tickets to this UFC 250. Could you imagine what the first 3 rows of McGregor versus Crawford would sell for? AJ versus who's your dude? Do you guys have a big heavy? Piera,
the guy who just won. He won on the other card.
Yeah, but he's not that big. I'm gonna say Piera.
He's not that big. What do you mean?
He's not Alex Piera. He doesn't move the needle.
Gotcha. I thought you meant I thought you meant size.
Oh, no,
I was like, what the fuck is huge? Yeah.
No, he looks
gotcha.
He looks like AJ, just not a goddess.
Right.
That's his only problem. He's more in the dark. I'm just fucking playing with you, French guy. But you were cheating like a motherfucker, though. That was some bullshit on its own.
That was some bullshit.
Yeah, that was messed up. But either way, Alex Piera versus AJ, 6'6" versus 6'7". Are you fucking kidding me right now? McGregor versus Crawford, Canelo. These fights, Miguel, I guarantee you, can get made. Both men can make 200, 250 easy, and the company still walks away making a shit ton of money. I guarantee you. The what is it? Demand that the other athletes would want in those tickets. Could you imagine? We have generations of kids that love boxing and MMA. And I'm talking about football players, basketball players, baseball players. I'm talking about musicians. I'm talking about Hollywood. Bro, I think there's going to be a ticket for the fucking regular person.
Right. Yeah.
You're going to have people going, I don't even care that I'm not in the first 2 rows. I just got to see it, dude. I've always thought about it. I've always thought of this thing. I got to see what happens here. Oh, fuck, dude. It's an easy sell. They've always protected you. I know this is where I lose all my MMA guys, but Dana has always protected this. They knew that it's a bomb. If it goes off and it goes wrong for you, it destroys everything. If it goes right, you take over the world. But he never had the confidence. He never had the confidence to pull the fucking trigger. He did not have an all-around athlete, stand-up wise, that can stay with the boxer. You have to remember, Dana's from boxing. You don't think he sees the shit that I see? I'm simple. I'm a fucking dad that does HVAC work. And I go, why isn't anyone watching this and seeing what I'm seeing? There's other trainers out there that know what the fuck is going on in that cage, right? I think Dana's always protected it, man. There's no way. The jab, you guys, the jab fucking does damage. You want me to put them in with legit fucking killers with jabs? What? So his eye could be fucking closed in like 30 seconds? It can be done. It should be done. But I'm tired of the acting like why it hasn't been done. This is a $7 billion company on paper. You have, I thought, the whole MMA world. I don't know, man. We're going to have to see the numbers, but I'm going to keep running with the lie. You guys are the MMA world, you UFC. They have it all.
Yeah, they're the NFL.
They are the NFL.
That's what
yes.
they've been trying to do this whole time. And even though they pay their fighters shit, they still pay more than everybody else, so they have no choice but to go there.
Yes. I love that Conor McGregor called out Crawford again on this week, because the money's there now. What Crawford needs to do is fucking respond with, I'll fucking do it. I want $200 million for both fights. You go talk to your boss. Each, dude.
Yeah. Because 200 for both is what they were saying, but it's like 100 on you.
Because McGregor is going to have to give up money if he loses the MMA fight. That has to be there. If you lose, because I'm going to whoop your ass in boxing. We already fucking know that. That's already been done. You got to give up money. Then I'll let you prove the MMA side of this. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Then we'll see if McGregor really wants it. You give up the $100 million, right? So, yes, if I'm Terrence, I fucking definitely respond. I don't like that Terrence. Look, I've seen the interview where Terrence said he was scared or he didn't want to get fucking. What did he say? I don't want to get taken down or I don't want to get kicked. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, yeah, why didn't you respond with just give me the money?
Right.
You're a fighter. You're a wrestler. You're always trying to wrestle all these. I've at least seen 2 or 3 videos of him trying to take down UFC guys. And even McGregor sounded like he'd fix the fight. Did you kind of get that when McGregor goes, I told him, like, come on, we'll just punch. When he goes, he was worried about getting taken down. Did you see how he said that?
Yeah.
It was sort of like McGregor was.
And really, like, it's not like McGregor is some sort of fucking, magician on the ground, right? By any stretch. He's most likely not going. The only time he probably will go for a shot is when he's hurt. And by that point, it might already be too late. But you can pretty much rest assured that he's not gonna shoot in like 30 seconds like he's Khabib or some shit. Like, he's not gonna do that. He's gonna stand up with him, throw some kicks, do some whatever the fuck, right? Maybe get into a clinch and do that shoulder shit, right? He's gonna do it. And obviously, that's going to leave him open to potentially getting hurt, and he'll go to wrestling or jiu-jitsu only when he has no other options.
That's going to be when the bell rings.
Yeah.
No, I'm dead serious though. The way these guys, their heads don't move off the line, their hands are down. It's very much whoever.
Well, here's the thing. Conor kind of does. Like that's why his striking was okay. He doesn't move off the line per se, but he loves that half shit, stay in the pocket and crack with the left. He does. You watch that. That's really the only thing that he really does very well. If you watch when he knocked out Jose Aldo, when he did it with Eddie Alvarez, he has and he's a southpaw on top of that, right? So he does a half step back and cracks it with the counter. He tends to stay in the pocket a little bit more. So that's why he's able to whoop everybody's ass, because something that simple can fucking do it, you know. But again, somebody who's even at a higher level on there, whether or not he can pull that off is another story, of course.
Because I don't think it's the kicks. I really don't. I don't see a boxer staying there to be kicked. I think that, hey, look, it's going to be a boring fight if you ever do get a boxer in there, because they are going to be using the ring. If you think they're just going to stand there and fucking trade like these other guys do in the MMA, you guys got it twisted.
No,
seriously.
They're going to be as light-footed as they possibly can.
Of course, and throw that fucking jab and wait for them to fuck up, and then you tag them with the right hand. That's all it's going to be all night. Stay the distance game, right? So I expect the MMA to be like, ding, ding. All right, I'm going for a shot. Like, they're not going to stand up and chunk. You throw one combo, this fight is fucking over. That's what I'm telling my MMA guy. We're not doing that.
They'll do something like this. Is what I'm thinking. They're going to try to trick the guy into thinking he wants to exchange so he can plant his feet and get taken down. So it's like, go ahead and throw some combos just to kind of get the guy thinking that he's okay, stay out of range enough to where once he does plant his feet, even if it's like try to disguise the shot, throw a jab and then shoot in like a motherfucker, get the guy thinking that you're not gonna actually shoot by just throwing some hands up on top. He'll be less light-footed and maybe plant his feet a little bit more, make it a little bit easier to take him down.
Yeah. So we'll see, but I like it. I like McGregor called it out. I want Terrence to respond. You know, Terrence seems like he's gonna be a little toy for Turkey, though. Did you notice him and Boots went at each other this week, where he told Boots something about being scared? Did you see that interaction with Terrence?
All I saw is that Turkey's saying that he wants to try to make Boots and Terrence for this year. That's what I read from.
Well, there you go.
I didn't see that part. I just saw that Turkey.
Well, no, that's in there. Okay. Well, that makes sense then. Why they did this little skit? To me, it looked like a fucking skit. Seriously, it looked like they had no beef whatsoever. Turkey just told them, "Hey, if you guys can make a fight, I'll definitely give you guys money." And they're trying to go out and make a fight. I don't like, Terrence has turned into a little puppet when he said he wasn't going to be that for Top Rank, right?
Right.
And now here he is, like Turkey's little fanboy. So it is what it is. But I thought Crawford was wrong for kicking the fighter when he was down. And I'm glad McGregor called him out. I'm glad McGregor called him out and then doubled down on the call out for the fight. Because the time is now. If it's ever going to happen, look, if the ratings truly are low, and we seen Dana the other day say he'd do the fight now. Remember that? Dana came on the podium and was like, oh, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do the fight. So if I'm Floyd, if I'm Terrence, man, let's throw out a high number and see if they bite. If the UFC, you guys, let me say it like this. If the UFC's numbers are really as low as me and Miguel think they are, the time is now to put it all in the basket. The time is now. I do maybe a champion night, right? Because Miguel, I don't know if there's ever coming back from this. When your numbers start dropping, the fan base is turned because of political views, lack of stars, right? And just the lack of actually Dana White being a likable guy. He's lost that, really. I think the time is that they put it all on the line and go, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to show that wrestling and jiu-jitsu and all that is the best combat in the world. 5-on-5. Let's do a 5-on-5 like fucking Eddie Hearn and yep.
Yeah, yep. That's not. And here's the thing. I know that right now it's easy to shit on the UFC because the viewership isn't what it used to be, and a lot of fans are turning away for any number of reasons. Not of which includes, which includes Dana White's attitude, his relationship with Trump. Keep in mind, everything has cycles, right? It doesn't mean that this is the end. It may just be in a slump, because what's going to happen when Trump is no longer the president? I mean, that's going to happen real soon, right? I mean, it's going to eventually not be in the White House. Whether or not we're going to get that now, we have 2 American champions. Okay, that's a little bit of a difference, right?
Go.
So it may be, exactly, it could be the launch for something like this to be a turning point for it to once again skyrocket. Why not right now when things are turning around, whenever the hell, you know, Trump is out of the situation, or out of the equation, I meant to say, which may happen sooner than later. And Dana White himself, who's kind of not in the UFC as much, right? It's Hunter Campbell, who's kind of, or Campbell Hunter, I get his name mixed up. He's the one that's kind of running the shots. Yeah, he doesn't have that sort of abrasive attitude that or personality that Dana has, but whatever, fuck it. If Dana's out the out of the equation, eventually Trump is. We got 2 champions now. This will be a really big launching point to another resurgence.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Anything else you want to add to that before we call it a show?
That was it.
Fantastic. All righty. So
did I get one step closer to my dream of having them?
Maybe. I mean, shit. I didn't think we'll see this in our lifetime. Maybe we will now. You know, maybe we will. Who the fuck knows? That's some Allegiant Stadium shit. That would be fucking awesome.
Dude.
But
it'll sell out Las Vegas, guaranteed, bro.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
It'll get this town buzzing like a motherfucker.
Yep.
No doubt about that. Okay, so that is going to do it for us today, guys. If you guys follow your calendars, next Sunday is Father's Day, the 21st. So we're going to do a little bit of a later show, because more often than not, you know, the mornings we go out and have breakfast with our pops and whatnot. And Andrew himself is a father, so he's going to have some stuff to do with the family, right? So later on in the evening is where we'll most likely record. And sometimes with the later shows, we generally post them the day that follows. So just kind of keep an eye out for them there, because usually it's a little bit later on. So just a heads up there. Are we going to say something?
Did you see my message? You got to watch it live, dude. If this is for Miguel, you guys, because he doesn't think I like the MMA. You got to watch the 14-second one first.
I'm watching the first one right now. You're standing up. Hell yeah. All right. And you got yourself like a USA shirt. Hell yeah. Fuck
yes,
yeah.
sir.
You're up there celebrating. Oh, man. Yo, their whole house is standing up, dude. Holy shit. Everybody's... Was your son covering his ears? His son in the background was like, shit. This fucking guy's getting loud. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And you're celebrating. Dude, you might as well spike a fucking football, man. You're walking around like you're about to fucking, like you just got a touchdown. You're about to spike a football. Fuck yeah.
I told you, bro. I got into that one. That was a good fight, man. Fuck
you. Did you tell Christina to record you, or she was just like, okay,
no, she just started recording me every once in a while.
Dude. Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. I mean, hey, it pulls on my heartstrings. It warms the heart, right? That you, and then you went to a car too. You went to was it an amateur fight or was it a pro fight? You know?
No, those are all pro fights.
Oh,
I know. I haven't posted the picture on that, but did
you guys win or what?
Yes, nice. 2 out of 3 fights we took. We look at me. The gym took. The gym took.
Ship real fast right there, didn't you? Shit! All of a sudden, like, yeah, our MMA guys won.
One of the young men, 19 years old, went up against someone who was 26. I gotta tell you, I was a little nervous when I seen that tail of the tape. I was like, damn, dude, he's still he's young. Where the other guy's kind of in his prime. 12 seconds. Yeah,
submission. What was it?
Submission.
Oh, nice.
Submission. He like hit him with the combo. Dude tried to take a shot, rolled on top behind him, got him out of there. It was fucking smooth though. Smooth for being 19, man. That was pretty good. So yeah, I went and seen my first MMA fight live at the Chicken. I think it's called the Chicken Ranch Casino. Mm-hmm. Bad venue. You see, I sent you the picture. Like every seat's a great seat in there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Tickets were only $60, so I thought that was hella cool. And then we had casinos.
Yeah, right. Casino fun after that.
Yes, sir. So,
alrighty.
Yep. I'm expanding, Miguel. I
see that. You're broadening your horizons. As you get older, you're like, I'm just gonna go ahead and open my mind to these other ones. Next thing you know, we're gonna be hearing Andrew talk about cricket or something, right?
Oh, dude. See, you didn't hear. I was like, Trump should have the band play "Eye of the Tiger." Oh, that would have been fucking so hard if they would have played "Eye of the Tiger"
yeah.
while Gaethje was in the corner, dude, about to win that fight. Oh, that was so
Or
tough.
that other Rocky one, like "Getting Strong Now." You know that one too, right now. Shit, it's like talk about a Rocky situation. Good lord.
It very much was for as many people that thought he was gonna lose that fight, man. The
Yeah.
way he fucking destroyed the dude's face.
Plus
Man,
380 was the last number I saw. Plus 380. Whew.
Oh, I know. Oh, I told Christina about that. I was like, could you imagine? Like, dude, I always go for upsets, right? Alex Pereira loses and freaking
Gaethje. Oh, Topuria.
Damn it. All right, Topuria.
Almost there.
So yeah, what a great night for the freaking degenerates out there that always bet on the damn underdogs.
Right. Yeah, and I forget what specific betting app they were advertising, but they would like pop up every so often, like little Twitter updates, and somebody put like 150K on them or something like that.
Yeah.
This other UFC lightweight Armand, I can never pronounce his last name, Armand something, said, you know, he put $1 million. I don't know if that's even real, but he said it right, and then said, hey, if you win, Justin, what kind of fucking color truck do you want? It was pretty funny as hell, but yeah, I guess some people cashed in on that shit.
I don't want to do the app yet, dude, because I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous that I'll get out of hand, you know? So I'm staying away from that. I just traveled to Reno. If I really want to make a bet, I'll take a 3-hour drive.
Right. Put a little bit of hurdles there, because if there's no hurdles, shit gets out of hand.
Yeah, because Miguel will be talking. I'll be like, oh, I'm betting on NASCAR. Hold on, dude. Not know a damn thing I'm doing, bro.
We're over here like, oh yeah, Tyson Fury, right, Andrew? Like, oh shit, what's up? I wasn't. I thought you were talking about NASCAR.
It's hockey. Like, it's hockey season.
Yeah, like, do you know these guys? Can you rattle off some stats from the fucking app? Okay. So that's going to do it for us, guys. Again, we will be back Sunday as we normally are, but later on the evening because it is Father's Day. And then the following Wednesday is going to be our go-home show before Zayas and Boots. So we'll be talking about that one next week. But until then, for my co-host, Andrew, don't get it twisted, Lapache, I am Miguel Antonio Barragan, a.k.a. Fight Feed Migs, and this has been the Mad Boxing Show. Thank you so much for joining us once more. Enjoy yourself. Take care. Happy Father's Day to all Father's Day. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Take care. Peace.